Now I would like to call upon Professor Syed Akhtar Hussain, sir, Computer Science and Engineering Head, Daffodil International University, to give his speech.
Very, very good morning. Still now, it's not yet afternoon. Very respected chief guest, one of our very prominent educationists, technologists, my dear panelists, the keynote speaker, very young though, and my dear colleagues from industry and academia, very young, talented minds sitting on the back. I did not make any presentation. You know why? Because something, when it's bring into your heart, you do not know what to present. There are many thousands and millions of PPT files in the internet. I have to just put a message in the meeting. Okay. I want to start my discussion by mentioning one person name who I discovered maybe just last week. I don't know how many of you know the father of ubiquitous computing. A very young scientist, Mark Weiser, he passed away in the year 1999 at the age of 46. Mark Weiser, his full name is Mark Dallin Weiser. He was the chief scientist of Xerox at Santa Clara. Mark Weiser quoted something very interesting. I'm starting my velocity, I'm just taking off my discussion. He said that, in the year, just to mention one thing, Mark Weiser's scholarships are given to top 10 league universities in the US. His scholarship is offered to top undergraduate students in University of California, Berkeley. His scholarship is offered in MIT by his name. But he passed away in the year 1999. He suffered from cancer in pancreas. He could not survive for six months. And his comments on something very interesting. He said that profound technologies are those that disappear by weaving themselves into the fabric of everyday life until they are indistinguishable from it. This comments actually what we see today as IoT is not merely an IoT, it's not Internet of Things. It's not that we are making our life simple, we are becoming smarter. We are quantifying everything. It's quantification of life. You have seen two of these presentations. But one thing very important is that these applications, the devices, will have intelligence, will have fuzzy logic built in. I want to mention one of my very interesting, I was reading on the site. It's called Sensera Senior Lifestyle System. It is a very renowned service developed by Netherlands. You will be very happy to know that IoT sensitization is highest in Europe, not in America. Okay? America is a little behind Europe in terms of sensitization of IoT. So what Sensera Senior Lifestyle System they offer? They offer actually a seamless customer experience for the elderly people. You know that highest amount of elderly people are in Europe, and they need assistive technologies. The technologies that help them to understand whether they are living or not. Someone, very close relatives, may come to know an elderly person who is sick. Why? Because there is a regular interruption of communication. I'm telling you one very interesting story. Imagine 5 years from now, you are coming to Basis Soft Expo after 5 years while you have everywhere IoT. How it will look like. I was trying to imagine that while sitting on the DS. And I was surprised myself that we all are actually moving with sensors, and when we walk in, right now you see lots of lights. Even the lights, lumens are not controlled. The air conditioning is too high. It's not controlled. But when you walk in after 5 years, you will see that lights are gradually glowing more and more. Air conditioning temperature is maintained. But there is one thing very, very important I must mention, because we do not say IoT does not mean only the device-to-device communication. It is not only sensing something and then passing this message to the next. It is also adaptive. It's learned by itself. It has intelligence developed over the time. Sensera, Senior Lifestyle System, they have a model. They say that this model will be, once you need 5 sensors only to bring Sensera Lifestyle System at your home. And they categorically mention that you have these 5 different sensors to be installed at these 5 different locations. And then Sensera Lifestyle System provides mobile apps by which the lifestyle system will learn a pattern. That pattern will be followed. Let's say an elderly person, or let's say we are all coming in, and there is a count automatic, and there is a identification of individuals, and there is communication going on. So the first session, there is a learning for the system itself. But when the system is matured, then system actually communicates intelligently. That is where IoT brings value to life. That means I'm using IoT in our road transport system is highly congestional, and we truly need IoT-based solution for this kind of traffic management. But imagine we travel every day following the same route, but we have different traffic condition on every hour. We do not know what is going to happen when I exit from here and I'm going to PM office. I don't know what's going to happen to the traffic scenario. But if it is a IoT, what will happen? It will actually have a data analytics as an intelligent support services at the back of the system to guide you and tell you that today the condition looks not good, so you may follow other path. But it is a recommendation only. Please remember, IoT can only recommend. IoT is not a solution. Solution is ourselves, but decision is ourselves. IoT is recommending you in certain situations. So I will actually not take much time. I'll talk about 3 things, which is very, very important if you really think that IoT and making life simple. The most important thing is seamless customer experience. That means whoever is using, whatever we are using, it is blended in our life. The second important thing is the connectivity. You have to have device to device, device to you, frequent connectivity. And data security and privacy is the last, but the most important concern is the data security and privacy. I will finish my very short discussion by sharing one very interesting company, which is just came up with the understanding of new IoT kind of devices in the world. Is a thermostat. It's basically a flux, but IoT-enabled flux. What do you mean by IoT-enabled flux is that this company name is Nest Thermostats in Germany, and it's the largest customer base at the moment. The thermostats has intelligence inside. What happens is that once you start taking some water, warm water, so the thermostat's measuring that what temperature you are using for your drinking water, and it maintains that temperature in the thermostat. So with this, I wish this wonderful seminar. I'd like to thank Basis and especially colleagues from Datasoft to invite me to talk here. And IoT is our bread and butter. We do a lot of projects in the department. The department is pretty big at Daffodil International University. Some of my students are here. We try to nurture young minds, and we have endless opportunities in Bangladesh because we have too many people and we need too many senses. And that's going to be a growing business for the future. Thank you so much.